Look, this isn't about just another year of trying to improve yourself, not at all. This is about a year of strategic positioning, a year that's designed to fundamentally change the entire trajectory of the next 5. This is about becoming, well, unstoppable.
I want you to really picture this for a second. It's the very last night of 2026. You're looking back over the 365 days that just flew by, and the only question that truly matters is, who have you become? Because, there are two very, very different paths that lead to this exact moment.
On one side, there's a version of you that is now just hard to compete with. Someone who's built a kind of momentum that almost feels unfair to everybody else. And on the other side, well, there's a version that's still just trying to get serious. You know the one, the person whose potential has become a source of exhaustion, not a source of power.
And this is the absolute key you have to understand. That enormous gap between those two versions of you, it doesn't magically appear in the final weeks of the year. It's not about a last-minute sprint. No way. It was built day by day through quiet, ordinary, almost invisible actions that started way back in January.
So this brings us to the core idea. We have to shift our thinking away from the conventional wisdom of just setting goals and toward a much, much more powerful concept: positioning.
Most people, right, we think in terms of goals. I want to get in shape. I want to make more money. But these are just outcomes. And the problem with chasing outcomes is that they're fragile. They're these events you constantly have to run after, and as soon as you hit one, guess what? The chase just starts all over again.
Positioning, on the other hand, is a completely different game. It's not an event, it's a durable structure. It's all about building a system where the outcome you want isn't the target anymore. It just becomes an inevitable byproduct of who you are.
So here's the crucial flip. Instead of chasing a number on a scale, you position yourself as someone who just trains consistently, 365 days a year. Fitness, that just becomes your baseline. Instead of chasing transactions to make money, you position yourself as someone who builds a rare, valuable skill. The money, it just becomes the natural result. You see that shift? It's everything.
Okay, so how do you build this position of power? Well, it all comes down to a single non-negotiable principle: strategic concentration. This is your escape hatch from the trap of being average.
Let's just be really clear about how the world actually works. It doesn't reward dabbling. It doesn't care if you're kind of good at a few different things. It rewards depth. It rewards mastery.
Most of us live these scattered lives. We try to improve a tiny bit in 4 or 5 different areas, and then we wonder why we never feel truly powerful. Listen, to become truly effective, you have to become formidable, dangerous, even in one single arena. That is the rule for 2026.
I want you to think of your energy and your focus like water. If you spread that water all across an entire field, yeah, sure, it nourishes everything a little bit. You get these slight, totally forgettable improvements everywhere. But what happens if you take that exact same amount of water and you concentrate it through a tiny, high-pressure nozzle? It can literally cut through solid steel. That is the power of focus. In 2026, you're not just watering your life, you are applying focus pressure in one single direction. Okay, let's get practical. How do we actually apply this focused pressure? Well, we break the year down into 4 strategic quarters. And this isn't just about feeling motivated, this is a structured blueprint for building your position. So here's the game plan. Quarter 1 is for separation. You quietly build your foundation. Quarter 2 is for acceleration. You ramp up the volume. Quarter 3 is the quiet advantage. You gain ground while everyone else is checked out. And quarter 4 is for consolidation. You finish strong to launch into 2027. So let's start with Q1, separation. While everyone is loudly announcing their big New Year's resolutions, you stay silent. Your job isn't to announce, it's to install. You're quietly building the infrastructure for the entire year. This means locking in your daily systems and focusing on stability, because real positioning is built on consistency, not on these fleeting bursts of motivation.
Now, as we move into Q2, it's all about acceleration. By April, most resolutions are already a distant memory, but your foundation, it's solid. This is where you double down, increasing the volume, increasing the intensity. You'll start to see that early compounding kick in. But then comes Q3, the quiet advantage. I'm telling you, real dominance isn't built in January when everyone's excited. It's built in the quiet summer months. While everyone else is distracted with vacations, you stay consistent. The gaps you create now are the ones that become almost impossible for others to close later on.
In that final quarter, Q4, it is not for coasting, it's for consolidation.
While most people mentally check out around November, you finish with intense focus. And why? Because your final position in December determines your starting line for 2027. You won't be starting from zero like everyone else, you'll be operating with leverage.
All right, let's put the motivation aside for a second and just look at the simple, undeniable math behind this whole strategy. This is how you go from being replaceable to becoming absolutely essential.
Think about it. If you improve by just 1% per week in one concentrated area, that is not a simple 52% improvement by the end of the year. It's exponential. Each week's gain is built on a stronger base, creating a compounding effect that quickly turns into a massive, massive advantage.
Now, I want you to think about this number, 365. That's 1 hour of focused work on a single high-value skill every single day. By the end of the year, that's 365 focused hours logged.
And here is the stark reality. Most people will never log that many focused hours in any single area in their entire lives. That is precisely why they remain replaceable. This isn't just about getting better. It's about making yourself essential.
And all of this brings us to the fundamental question you need to ask yourself. You've got to stop asking, what do I want to achieve this year? Instead, ask the much more powerful question, what position do I want to occupy by the end of 2026?
And why does that question matter so much? It's actually really simple. Because your identity follows your positioning. When you consistently act from a certain position for 365 straight days, you don't have to try to be that person anymore. You simply are that person. Your identity has solidified.
Ultimately, it all comes down to this one choice. A year where your energy is scattered all over the place will be forgettable, but a year where your energy is concentrated, that will be life-altering. You know, 2026 is going to pass no matter what. The only real question is, will you use it just to get by, or will you use it to become hard to compete with?